All right, guys, welcome into another East Tennessee group podcast. And today, I'm freaking excited because I love talking about country life. And as you can see, we're in a different place today. We're at Tammy's home. And today, we're going to ask Tammy and Karen a bunch of questions about farm animals, I think.
Great.
Well, we get asked a lot. We have a lot of clients and a lot of people looking to move to East Tennessee because they want to be in, get away from the cities. They want to have more of a country life. And Tammy has sort of done that.
Yes.
She's from here originally, but you moved out of a neighborhood and now you have all this land.
So we originally lived in a subdivision. You could see what was going on in your neighbor's backyard and everything. And my husband, just one day out of the blue, he goes, I want to have cows. And I'm like, oh, have you ever had cows? I mean, what are you going to do with these cows? He goes, I'm going to raise them and we're going to eat them. We'll have babies. The kids are going to have so much fun. So we bought a farm and we ended up with cows and pigs and chickens and ducks and goats and donkeys. So our kids have had an absolute ball on the farm, playing in mud holes and the small pond and shooting BB guns and throwing knives and just being kids and using their imagination. And so, what do you want to know about farm animals?
Well, I guess my first question would be how much work is it actually? Because you look at it and you're like, oh, that'd be easy. You just feed them and, it's kind of like a dog. And
right. So some animals are a little bit trickier, a little bit harder, a little bit more maintenance than others. So all of the animals we had or have all been very self-sufficient. If you have enough land with cows, you are letting them graze in the pastures. You you fill up their water troughs. We had a self-waterer. So whenever the water level would start getting low, we had a float valve on there. It would fill it back up for us automatically. You feed them grain or corn every so often, a couple of times a day, or whenever they're about ready to be slaughtered. You feed them a little bit more, sweeten them up. The pigs, we had grazing pigs, so they kind of did their own thing.
Pigs graze?
They do.
Gosh, news to me.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So they also love to root. So have you seen them with the
I did know they root,
noses?
yeah.
So that's the reason why you ring their noses, so that they don't get out of the pasture. They're herd animals, so we had 3 of them to keep them happy and content before they turned into bacon.
My goodness.
Okay, we got to go back. Do you ring them?
You do. You put rings in their nose so that they don't root up the pasture as much.
How does that prevent them?
It hurts their nose because they're using their nose
I see.
root all of the ground and to tear it up and to try to get out from underneath the fence.
But so it doesn't hurt them normally, just
unless
if
they're
trying
trying to root, and then that's where they stop. So.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I know there's such, or at least, wild hogs are such a huge problem. My grandfather owns some property in Tellico Plains, and he has a big issue with pigs right now that are just...
They will tear your land up, and they can be mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. I've seen some crazy videos. So, okay. So for the most part, though, like your cows are pretty self-sufficient. You just water them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Water them, let them graze. In the wintertime, you do have to feed them hay because obviously the grass is not growing in the wintertime or anything like that. So a little bit more maintenance in the wintertime. Now, if you have baby calves that don't have their mom, like we had started out with just bottle calves, they turn into pets because you have to feed them a couple of times a day, and you're feeding them with the bottle, and they will follow you around in the pasture. It's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is going to be a weird question. Did you end up taking those pigs to the place where they don't come back?
My husband did. Actually.
Yeah. Was that like a real, weird, heavy thing?
It was. You do become attached.
Yeah.
And then you try not to think about it because that's the whole reason why they're here.
Yeah.
One of their names was Lucky. So Lucky's owner, which was my son, was not very happy about that. We told him that Lucky was rehomed.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
In your belly.
Yeah.
I think that's so interesting. I've always been so drawn to kind of like the living off the land, like, more self-sufficient stuff because, we go to the grocery store every day and we buy all this meat and we cook it up. And then you watch a video and you're like, oh, the poor animal. But it's like, well, you just ate a chicken 5 minutes ago. You just ate a cheeseburger.
And I'll tell you what, the meat that you will get off your farm or that you have raised on your own, it tastes so much better, so much different because there's no hormones in it. There's no chemicals in it. You know exactly what that animal ate and how it came to be.
Right. And the meat even looks different too, doesn't it? It's like more purple, right?
Yeah. It definitely looks different. It smells different. It cooks different. Yeah. It's a lot leaner than what you're going to find in the store.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that is freaking cool. Yeah. Love it. Okay, so
that was the cows.
That was the cows. The pigs, they grazed. They turned into bacon.
They got all the excess food that we ate. Just no meat. You just feed them like plant-based foods. You don't want to feed them meat or else they will turn mean.
Oh, really?
They will. Yeah.
Meat makes them mean.
Yes, you're not supposed to feed pigs meat at all. And then you also can feed them corn and stuff like that. So my kids loved to feed the pigs because they were like little watchdogs. Every time we would open up the front door, they could hear the door open and they'd start winking and be like, ooh, you're going to feed me gay.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
And so cool. The chickens, they're a lot of fun too. So chickens, you feed them. We had an automatic feeder and waterer for them. Yeah. And they lay their eggs usually in the morning. And you can
do you have to do a fake egg? Is that a real thing or a myth?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So you put a fake egg in their nesting box so that they will always lay their eggs in that area. Yeah. Because our chickens were free range chickens. They could go wherever they wanted to, and then they would go back to their chicken house at night where they would roost. Yeah. So we always wanted to make sure we knew where they were laying their eggs at. So yeah, you do always leave a fake egg in there.
And Karen, you had chickens too, right?
I did. So I do not live on a farm. So I have an acre. And so there are some restrictions where I live. We are not allowed pigs. I am allowed no swine. I am allowed 1 horse per acre, so I could have a horse if I wanted to. Maybe I could have a cow. I don't know. I never looked into it. But yes, so my daughter has wanted chickens, and that's a big part of why we live where we live, because we actually have a farm in front of us, across the road, and a farm to the left of us. So it's rural, but it's still, it's not a farm. It's still neighborhood-like. But yeah, so we had chickens, and you mentioned that your chickens would come back to the pen at night. Well, we had to round these chickens up. I mean, I have videos of the chickens chasing the kids as the kids were trying to round them up and get them back in the coop. I mean, it was crazy. They were mean.
Did you ever get pecked by a chicken?
No. I would be on the deck. I'd be like, you guys going, you wanted chickens?
You wanted chickens?
They will chase you though.
Have you ever been pecked?
I have been, yes.
How, does it hurt or?
It doesn't hurt terribly bad, but yes, they will definitely chase after you, especially roosters. The roosters, they're not really good for anything, unless you're wanting to incubate the eggs and keep them. But we
didn't have any roosters. Although, I mean, I don't know, maybe they were, because they made a lot of noise and they were mean. They were mean when we wanted to put them to bed. I guess they just liked the whole free reign kind of thing. But we never got any eggs, but I did not know about the fake egg. So next time we'll do the fake egg.
Pro tip.
Yes, exactly. Pro tip there. Yes, put the fake egg in. But did your chickens go back by themselves into...
We fed them inside of their chicken house. So that's where they knew that they were going to eat at. They had the roosting...
Right.
What do they call it? Like, just like a roosting
like
hole
the bar,
or whatever?
Yeah.
So they would always go there so that they could roost at night.
You see, that's so funny. My guys were not keen on going back inside. But also their food. And their food was inside as well.
Yeah.
But do you ever have ducks?
No.
Oh,
so
the
cute.
ducks are so cute. We had a baby swimming pool for the ducks so that they could play in the water and everything.
Oh, my word.
And their eggs, duck eggs, are so much bigger.
Yes.
Did you
And-
eat them?
Yes. Yes, you eat
What-
them.
what do they taste
they're
like?
excellent for baking. They're richer.
Okay.
And
Yes,
they're
yes.
larger.
Yeah.
It's like a jumbo size egg, but they're
Yeah.
so good.
Could you tell the difference in like a duck egg and a scrambled egg? Like if you made me both right now, would I be able to tell?
Probably not.
Awesome.
Probably not.
Maybe ducks are in my future then.
And they're so cute just watching them little waddle
Yeah.
around and everything.
I used to
Oh,
go
I
to the
bet,
little
yeah.
Ponderosa Zoo and watch them.
Yeah.
That's as country as I get.
Yeah, she's like, I got a dog. We have a rabbit. That's something.
Oh, I know.
You have 2 rabbits, right?
Rabbits, yeah. But they're all domestic. Because I always desire to live the farm life, and I envy those who can. But when it comes down to it, I'll go to the Rural King and think I'm a farmer.
Go check them out for 5 minutes and then you've had your fix.
And that's it.
Perfect.
So what happened to your ducks?
Yeah.
So the raccoons got our ducks, and
yeah.
we had the trail cam set out. The raccoon looked at the trail cam, and I was talking to Chevy about it earlier about how the trail cam will have a light go off whenever it
Detects motion. Yeah.
yeah. So then it's like the raccoon would look at it, smile, grab the chicken, and leave.
No
The
way.
little robbers.
Wow.
And so goats.
Oh, the goats were so much fun. So when we first moved to this farm, it was really overgrown and just not taken care of or well maintained at all. So we had gotten a few goats in order to clean up some of our pastures.
Right, yeah.
And let me tell you, those suckers will eat anything.
Yeah.
They eat anything and everything. And
Yeah.
the babies are so cute. Oh my gosh, their babies are
They eat poison ivy, right? Is
Yes,
that
they
a thing
eat
that
poison
that-
ivy,
yeah.
and they
That's it.
absolutely love like little bushes and low hanging trees and stuff like that. So they cleaned our pasture up for us excellently.
nice?
That is that is really cool. So going back to the raccoon deal, did you ever try to do anything to like stop them, like any kind of management or anything? Just kind of
Just let
go?
them do their own thing. We
Yeah.
had possums do the same thing, and my husband was like, "Well, we're going to keep the possums." Did you know that possums will actually eat poisonous snakes?
I did know that. Yeah.
So I have got the hugest
And
fear
ticks.
of snakes. So I was like, oh, I hope they have lots of babies. We're going to have all kinds of possums around here.
Have you seen
I share your fear
No,
of
I have not
snakes.
seen any snakes for, like, we did when we were first cleaning out things
Yeah.
and cleaning the
Probably a
property
bunch
up
of
and
black
everything.
snakes.
Yeah, and it was huge too. It was like
Yeah.
that big around. And I ran and squealed. And
Those are good to have around though because they get rid of the mice.
The mice and the rats and stuff like that. Small rodents.
Jeez, that thing could get rid of
A
big
lot of
rodents.
mice.
Gee
Lots of
whiskers.
mice, yeah. If I walked in, I mean, we were talking in another podcast about the Abrams Falls hike. We were walking across a bridge and there was a water snake and I lost it.
Did you scream like a girl?
Oh, I did. If you want to hear me turn into a girl and throw a snake my way, I will do it. And it's so funny because like I'll hike through the mountains. I've had bear come up on me. I've had coyotes, and it's like that stuff doesn't bother me, but a little slithery snake and I'm like freaking out.
That is me.
Yeah.
Mine are the mice, the rat. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snakes I don't want to see, but rodents. That's it. You will not see me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say about the possums because it's rare to see possums, right? When they're not dead on the road. Let's be honest. I mean, I see them when they're in the place
They're
where
not-
they
We
shouldn't
just had
be.
a trail cam set up.
Well,
they're
We wanted to know
nocturnal.
what was happening
Right.
too and stuff. Yeah.
And their tails,
Yeah.
Tammy.
Yeah, they're just like big rats.
It makes
Yes.
you wonder where they are during
They
the
look
day.
greasy.
Yes.
Because if you look around our farm now, you're like, there's no way there's any wild animals around here.
Around here?
Where are they?
Oh, I would
Where
think
are
there would
they?
be.
You know? Yeah,
Yeah.
but where are they hiding?
Well, I mean, most animals don't come out until night, though.
Right.
You know, like
Do
deer.
possums burrow? Do they?
I thought maybe they went in a tree.
I haven't a clue.
I don't know.
I don't know why I don't know that, but I
Okay,
haven't a clue.
homework. Where
Yeah,
do possums
where do
sleep
possums-
during the day?
Where's Alexa when we need her?
We definitely know not to feed cats at night. We learned that lesson.
Okay, why?
So do not leave any cat food or dog food out at night, or else
'cause
you'll
the
end up
coons
with
come.
raccoons or possum or skunks on your front porch.
Oh,
Yes, and they will
I
scare
can
you
see
to
that.
death.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
all of our animals get fed in the morning so that it's gone by nighttime.
Oh,
Yeah.
very interesting.
That, See, these are the tips that we need.
Yes,
Would have never thought of that.
absolutely.
Do you have any dogs?
We do not have any dogs. We did, and it was an inside dog. And then we remodeled the house, and I was like, yeah, we're not having a dog tear that up.
Yeah. So cows, goats, ducks, chickens. Did you have anything else?
Donkeys.
Donkeys.
We had donkeys because we had calves,
Yeah.
and one of our calves died. And we thought it was because a coyote had got it. So we got donkeys to protect the calves.
Right, I always see
Yes.
whenever there's horses or cows, there's always a donkey.
Yeah.
It's always
And
like one single donkey out
Yes,
there. Yeah.
and he's like the protector, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
donkey is there to basically keep the coyotes away. Yeah,
How
They-
how does he keep the coyote?
They drop kick them out of this
They
planet.
do.
yeah,
What?
yes,
What's happening?
yeah.
They like Kung Fu Panda it.
Yeah. And the donkeys had the coolest names ever: Chuck Norris and Xena.
Nice.
Perfect. So
Yes.
did you ever confirm that it was a coyote?
We never knew.
Yeah. Did you ever have anything like that happen afterwards?
No,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Donkeys
we still
did their
hear
job.
the coyotes howling, but
But they don't come near the.
no, not
Yeah.
at all.
Were the donkeys, were they mean to you or were they nice?
So I expected the donkeys to be like just an ugly version of a horse, and they would come up to me and they would eat apples out of my hands or little peppermints. And
Yeah.
no, they were not very friendly at all. Like
Okay.
they did not want to be petted. They didn't want to be ridden.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't catch them. They were just in the field doing their
They
own
were just
thing.
security and you just
Yeah,
left
and
them
they
to do their
love
thing.
to chase after the cows just
What?
to harass
For
them.
fun,
Like they're
yes.
supposed to be protecting the cows or the calves, but then they would also run after them, and like it's like they would sit back and laugh because
Yeah.
they made the cows run.
That is kind of funny.
That is
Field
funny,
security
yeah.
man. That's cute.
Yeah. So the donkeys, did they just graze? That's pretty much.
Just like a horse or a
They
cow.
just
and
put.
they
Wow.
pour, yeah.
How much land do you think you need for like a
Mini farm. Yeah.
yeah for
Okay.
like a mini farm for all in the
the
graze?
rule of thumb is an acre and a half
Okay.
for a cow and a calf.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a song.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a song?
Well, I can make it into
Well,
one.
yeah,
An
it's
acre and a
cute little
half.
rhyme. It's easy to remember, right?
Calf, yeah. I mean,
Someone drop a beat.
Now, for horses, you're supposed to have more land than that. Horses, they will tear a pasture up if they don't have enough.
yes.
They pull the grass up all the way down to the root.
Hmm.
So if they don't have enough pasture to graze, then
Aren't
they'll
horses,
tear
it's like 2 acres per horse?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah.
And horses are very expensive to maintain, and
Sure.
you've got to get them shoed, and
Oh my goodness.
you've got to give them all kinds of shots, and you've got to ride them.
I am.
So we do not have any horses.
I have friends who are veterinarians, and they basically, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but basically they say that the horse is like God's joke because there are so many things that can go wrong
yes.
with a horse that they take so much maintaining, and you know something will happen and you don't know why, you don't know what's wrong with the horse, I mean yeah, it is just crazy.
I always find it so odd that like, you have to hoof or shoe the horses. Like I think it's like every 6 months. Like it's very,
but only if
or not
you
6
do
months,
it,
it's 6 weeks, isn't it?
I don't know how. I don't remember how often they have.
I don't know,
is
but
it
you-
called shotting?
yeah,
Shotting?
but you
Yeah.
you don't around
have-
here a lot of the horses, I mean my
you
daughter
don't have to
rides
put shoes on
and
them
she doesn't
unless you're
on hard.
showing them or on asphalt.
Yeah,
concrete.
I mean, like when my daughter rides, she goes horse riding because there's
Yeah.
a lot of ranches around here as well. A lot of places, and you can
Yeah.
just go like trail riding, but she
Sure.
actually goes for lessons, and those horses are not shod at all. But they never go anywhere apart from pasture to the ring, which is I guess, sawdust and dirt and whatever. So it's always very soft surfaces. If you want to take them on the road, then you have to shoe them.
That's good to know, because I was always wondering, I was like, how do these things survive in the wild? You know, like they're out here getting their nails done every 6 weeks, and no wonder they did make it.
There's a lot of equestrian trails around here too. That
Not only like in the rural parts, but like right in Knoxville. I mean, just off of North Shore back there's quite a few riding stables. In fact, there's one for sale at the moment.
You gonna buy
Just
it?
saying. I don't know. But yes, there's quite a lot of equestrian places. I mean, just down the road from me is a place called Tri-C Farms, and they actually have professional rodeos there, and they do a lot of youth rodeos, and people come from all over, and literally all over the country. I mean, I see them pulling in with their huge big, horse trailers and that, from all over the country for these rodeos that they have just down the road from me.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So what kind of riding lessons is your daughter taking?
So don't
Is
get
it
me on
English,
it.
Western,
No,
hunter
she's
jumper?
taking Western at the moment, against my heart, because I really wanted to learn English riding.
So Western would be easier. She's just starting out.
Western is easier. Yes, it is easier. You're absolutely right, because it's much more casual. It's much more relaxed. It's just I love show jumping. Absolutely love show jumping. So I would love for her to ride English and then show jump, but it's not me, it's her, and she loves the Western, and she loves her cowboy boots. I mean, she's got I don't know how many pairs of muddy cowboy boots at our house, and I mean that's what she enjoys. So and there's a lot of opportunity here for her to do that. So
has she watched the that show? It's on Paramount. It's 1883. Oh, she should.
well, I don't think so. Maybe.
I don't know either. Well, it's a really interesting show. It's like a spin-off of the Yellowstone series.
Okay, yeah.
And so she's a chick, East Tennessee girl.
Yeah.
And they're her dad, Tim McGraw. He plays the dad. And Faith Hill plays the mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's kind of interesting. But she's like a really good like writer, and it's all about like their expansion out west and like moving to where they end up making their Dutton Ranch, and it's a good show. She should watch
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Because she's kind of a badass throughout the whole thing, because she's like showing these other cowboys how to like run this cattle and stuff.
Really?
So
That's
I bet she
funny.
would like it. Yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah, the place where she goes riding at the moment, the trainer actually does equine massage as well, which is pretty cool. I thought that was quite a cool
you
thing.
might as well be speaking Spanish to her.
So she massages horses.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Isn't
what that
that
means.
pretty cool?
That is
That is neat.
I think that's awesome. And there's a place in Knoxville as well, and I don't know the name of it, but they do, it's therapeutic riding. For, there's a lot of different things, but for children that have, some types of disabilities, things like that. The horses, they're like therapeutic, like you have therapy dogs, they're actually therapy horses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That makes
pretty
sense.
neat, yeah.
So
Yeah,
did you
so-
used to show horses? You
I
said
did
that you
not.
really like the English
My
style.
best friend growing up had horses. She still does. So we would spend day after day at the stables, and so I never did it myself, but I just was around it so much, and I would go with her to her shows, and she actually had thoroughbreds, and she would jump the thoroughbreds. Now she does more dressage. I don't think she jumps much now.
So do you
She
know
does-
what dressage is?
Not a clue.
It is making a horse dance, is what it looks like if you watch it. So you'll start out going around the ring, and then you'll do a canter or a trot, and then you have the horse just walk sideways or go sideways the other way. It's the prettiest thing.
It's
to
very
watch.
disciplined. So there's letters all around, or numbers all around. they're not there. It's kind of like when you watch football and you see
On the sidelines.
you see the lines. They're not really there, but in your mind they're there, and there'll be a sequence that you have to do. It's kind of like a dance routine, you know, and it'll be like, we'll go from A to B at a trot, and then do, you know, canter from B to C, and then do a flying change halfway through, and, you know, all sorts of different, it's a dance routine. You're
It really
exactly
is.
right,
That
but
is
it's
cool.
very, very disciplined and very,
Yeah.
very British.
So, Tammy, are you about to get some horses then?
I used to show horses.
Did you really?
yes.
Oh, you did?
So I showed hunter jumper. I did dressage.
Oh,
I did barrel racing for a while.
See, that's what
I've
my
heard
daughter
barrel
loves.
races are crazy.
racing is so much fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah?
what Michaela's been doing. She's been doing barrels, and I just sit there and I
fun
watch. I'm like, oh
shows,
my goodness.
those are so much fun. Where you go
Yeah.
around the poles and
Yeah.
barrel racing, and you have a partner. And you go around doing different stunts on your
Yeah.
horse, seeing how fast you can do it.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So
yeah.
you grew up here in Maryville?
I actually grew up in Wisconsin.
Oh,
I
okay.
showed horses there. Yeah.
How about that?
So
when
would
did you
you-
move here? Sorry.
When I was in high school.
Okay.
So, would you have horses here? Can you have horses on this farm?
We can have horses on this farm, but my husband said absolutely not. They're too expensive. They're too much work. They're too much maintenance.
Yeah.
Our kids would probably love it for the first week, and then they'd see how much work it is and how time consuming
Right.
the horse is, and they'd be like, yeah, no. I'm going to go ride my go-kart.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It absolutely. You know, I heard some, and it may have actually been from Ruth, and it said, "Teach your daughter to love a horse. She'll never have money for drugs."
Oh, she won't.
And it's
She'll
just
be broke.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
because they are.
That's
yes.
where all my money went as a kid. I would work side jobs or babysit, and every bit of it went back into my horse or the outfits I was wearing or the shows.
Do you have a bunch of belt buckles?
No, I do not have any belt buckles, but I do have probably about 50 different trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
Wow.
have the belt buckles.
You have belt buckles?
Did you show horses?
No, I grew up in Texas, so that was a thing.
Oh, the bigger.
Were you a
belt
rodeo
buckle,
girl?
better,
Justin
better.
boots and belt buckles.
Yes.
For some reason, so when I moved here, I was like, "Where's the hats?" And it's just not a thing. But in Texas, the stereotype.
Did you
is-
partake though?
We went to watch, and
Yeah.
it's a big thing down there. Like
Oh, yeah.
cowboy breakfast before rodeo starts, and then you rodeo all week. It is neat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the rodeos here are kind of like this on grand scale.
yes,
Right.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're still fun, but
Yeah. Well, everything's bigger than life in Texas.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes. Yeah, they don't do the hat so much here, but cowboy boots. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
I don't have cowboy boots. Do you guys have?
Girl, you've
Yeah.
got to have some cowboy
You see?
boots.
I don't
Just
have
the
any
Justin
cowboy boots.
Ropers.
Yeah, I know.
And they're so comfortable. You've got cowboy boots, don't you? I bet you
I'm actually wearing some Justins right now.
The Justin boots are so comfortable.
Okay.
Especially
I'll
when
have
you're
to go look.
showing a farm or vacant land.
Yeah.
They're perfect because you don't want to get your pretty dress shoes all muddy.
Oh no, I have hiking boots that I wear when I'm
You
doing
show lots.
land and that. Oh yeah, I have hiking boots. Yeah.
Justin boots are
I thought
so
about
easy
that.
though. You just slip them on. You can put them on the inside of your boot, the inside of your pants, or the outside. Either one, they still look cute.
I
gonna have to do
like
it.
at all times, like probably 6 pairs of boots in my truck.
Really?
I have snake boots. I have rubber boots for like water. I have my hiking boots. I usually am wearing a pair of boots, and then I have my wading boots for when I'm fishing.
Thigh highs.
Just in case you come across a body of water that you.
You never know, okay? You never know.
He's like, I have my snake boots. I have my hiking boots.
I do. Listen, I have been to some places. I was opening a crawl space door once, and a snake fell. It slithered up there.
Oh, I would have been done.
Oh, I
would've ran.
did.
I'd be like, burn that house down.
Yeah,
Oh
we're
my
moving.
goodness.
We're moving. Yeah,
Oh my word!
it
Yeah,
was wild.
that was crazy.
Anyways, moving back, I did want to ask you a question. What were like the biggest struggles you had with the farm?
So, not really knowing what we were doing and getting the fences put up and installed, we thought it was going to be an easy weekend project of installing a fence. No,
Yeah.
not unless you have a tractor or a fence post installer thing. That is.
I think that's the technical word for it.
Did you dig the holes for your fence posts?
we
was gonna say, good
installed
Lord.
the metal posts, and then you have like a hammer kind of thing that goes over the top of them.
Okay, yeah,
Post driver.
Yeah. So my husband did the majority of them, but I thought I was going to help him out, and I did maybe 5, and I was done.
So did you fence in everything with actual like fence or just like barbed wire fence? I mean, how did you do it?
For the goats and for the pigs, we had to use like the squared fence to where they couldn't get out. For the cows,
hence the name hog wire, I guess. Right,
yes.
okay,
And then on that side over there, those were already done, but we had to install more barbed wire because it was old and needed to be updated and better maintained.
Okay, so I'm going to hazard a guess that that's a significant cost outlay to do the fencing when you moved here?
So the barbed wire is a lot cheaper. The strands of barbed wire, it's a lot less expensive than like the goat wire or the hog wire. It was a lot more expensive, a lot harder to install, a lot heavier.
I feel like if you put in barbed wire fence though, I mean, is that not going to hurt the animals?
They stay away from it. That's why it's barbed wire, because they know it will hurt.
You see, across the road from us, there's horses and a donkey and cows. And for some reason, the grass on the other side of the barbed wire fence is always better. And they're there and they've got their head stuck through this little gap in the barbed wire to eat the grass that looks exactly the same as the grass on this side. But I see them do, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, when you pull that, it's just going to rip all the...
It doesn't.
It doesn't? Okay.
Animals are resilient.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess. And I guess they've got, cows have got quite coarse hair, right? It's quite coarse. So I guess that's protective.
Sure.
It just always worries me when I see them. I want to be like, make sure you turn your head to the side and back out slowly sort of thing,
Yeah, that's funny.
I've always wanted fainting goats.
Oh, me too. Oh, they're so much fun. So you can run up to them
And then
squeal, and then they just fall over.
Yeah.
That's what I do in my pastime. I watch TikToks on fainting goats.
Yes.
Oh, really?
A whole channel devoted to it.
Oh, my goodness.
They're fun.
Yes.
But I did show a house where they had pet fox, and they built a whole run. In the MLS, I joked about it in one of my Facebook Lives because I was so enthralled I showed it. But the MLS says, don't let the fox out of the fox house. And I was like, oh, cool. They named a room in their house a fox. They had a fox house. And, I mean, that thing was running, and it was red, and then they had a white one, but they couldn't be together. So that was neat.
So,
wow.
Serious question here. What does the fox say?
What does it say? How does it
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, something like that.
That is funny. I forgot about that.
We are on the tunes today.
Yeah. Yeah. Karen was rapping. I was like, you know that song. That's neat. So what do you have now? Anything? Just the outdoor kitties?
Just the cats right now, and then a couple of cows.
Oh, you do?
We do have a couple of cows,
Okay.
yeah. They're in the upper field right now.
And crazy question. The airplanes do not bother the cows?
No, not a bit. They don't
Okay,
even
so they're not
realize.
phased by
Yeah.
it.
So walk us through why you ended up getting rid of everything except for the cows.
So my husband went back to school. I have a super busy job. We have children.
Yeah.
We didn't need the additional stress or maintenance. So we did sell some of our cows. We didn't need the donkeys anymore because we didn't have any calves. The chickens were eaten.
No.
Mine too.
Rip.
The goats did
Yeah.
their jobs. Then they cleaned out our pastures for us, so we no longer needed them. So we rehomed the goats, and the pigs were eaten.
So goats. What? This may be stupid, but what do people do with goats? I mean, can you actually get goat's milk from? If you just have a few goats, you can actually.
If you wanted to milk them twice a day and go through the hassle of that, absolutely. you can milk
Otherwise,
the
they're
goat.
just for fun.
They're just for fun and to eat up a field, clean it
Yeah.
up.
Really?
You can make cheese out of their milk and stuff like that.
Right.
Make soaps and.
But yeah, you milk
But we
them
were
twice a
not doing
day.
that. You can even.
Sure,
eat
he's
those.
like,
Yeah, it's like-
this is like,
Did you ever milk your cows?
No, we had beef cows. So beef cows and milk cows.
Dairy cows are different.
Yeah.
Sure.
Interesting.
Then a cow, you have to milk them twice a day too, and that's just a little too much work for me.
That is a lot of work. yeah.
right.
So do you see deer?
So yeah, we see deer here and turkeys and
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of turkey, wild turkey. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this your dream, Chevy? Deer and turkey?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so one more question. If someone's looking to move here and they have this idea that they want to do this mini farm, you just mentioned that you and your husband are both busy. So let's say, what acreage do you have here, Tammy?
we only have 5 acres.
Okay, so with 5 acres, well, 5 acres is that's a mini farm, right? It really is. So 5 acres, how much time with maybe a few cows and some chickens and some goats, kind of what a lot of people come in here. I mean, I have clients who absolutely have to have chickens. Have to. They
So
they
the
are
chickens,
not
that's
interested.
just a couple of minutes every day.
But what
You're gonna
about
go out there,
like?
gather the eggs and come back in.
But what about like, you've got to keep the ground tended or grass cut, or do you just let the goats roam and let the goats do it?
Well, we just let the goats clean up the pastures. They did their own thing. The chickens, they roamed and did their own thing. They had automatic feeder and water, and then we would just gather their eggs. So altogether, for all of the animals that we did have, maybe 20, 30 minutes every day. But then you put it on the top of everything else that's going on in your life. And you're like, man, this is just
And you have
too
to be
much.
home. You have to do it. You go away for a week. Someone's
You
got to
have to
take
have
care of
somebody
the
home.
animals, right?
Is it like
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes like at a time, or is it like kind of spread out?
We always just did it all at the same time.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's not horrible. So
No.
if you've got say an hour a day, you can definitely maintain
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you, without the goats now, just maintaining that 5 acres, what does that take?
So the cows are actually maintaining the pastures now.
Okay. Okay.
So we rotate them around and they eat
From
it up.
different fields.
We move them around, yeah.
smart.
So we've got 3 different fields that we rotate them through.
Okay, cool.
So you would literally count and make sure there was not a jailbreak?
Oh, so so our neighbor also has cows, but our cows are a different color than his cows.
Okay.
So he has a bull, and our cows have jumped the fence, hung out with the bull for a while, or the bull will jump our fence and come over.
Oh, wow.
and
Cows can
visit.
jump?
Yes. The cow jumped over the moon.
Well,
Of course they can jump.
I don't know. I just see cows standing and eating and
Seems like that's all they
laying
do.
down,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
You
that's
just wait
it.
till spring, though. Yeah.
Oh, is that the season?
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
it's the
that's
season.
true.
Yeah, so they will.
They do run. I know they
will
don't jump.
run. They
Yeah.
will sleep standing up. You can tip them over.
Yes. That's the
are
thing in
you-
England, to go cow tipping.
Yeah.
It was a thing here too when I was younger. I mean, I never did it, but
Yeah.
Are you serious?
yeah, I never did
What's
it.
wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's why
It wasn't
being
on
a
the
teenager,
radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I run in my neighborhood, sometimes it depends, but sometimes the cows will run with me. And it'll start almost a stampede sometimes. If one of them gets a fright when I run past,
Yeah.
they will bolt like seriously, it's like a stampede
And they're
to the
loud,
other side of the field. It's crazy. Wow. It's bizarre. So yes, I take it back that I don't see them being active because I absolutely do, but I've never seen them jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will.
So it's springtime here. Are you expecting a calf soon?
Yes, we're expecting 2 calves.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
awesome. Heck
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. So what does that make them? Are they like half brother and sister then if it's from the bull next door? Is it the bull next door?
It is the bull next door. So we always get rid of the calves after they're born.
Yeah.
So they're like not like inbred.
Right,
or
but
anything like that.
but it's
Yeah.
the same dad, 2 different moms, right? So
Yeah, 2 different moms, same dad.
Half-
half brother,
half siblings,
half
yeah.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you and the farmer like have a deal going or something, where is it just kind of like, nah, it happened?
He's just like, you're keeping my bull happy.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Sometimes he lets his cows over here too. Like if our pasture is growing too fast,
Yeah.
then his herd will come over here. They'll clean it up after a couple of days, and then they go.
Then they'll go back
home.
again. Wow.
Have your kids
That's cool.
seen one be born?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh. Yeah. Mm.
Well,
That's got to be weird.
Watching it be born?
Yeah.
Why would it be weird?
don't know,
It's
just
life.
think it
It's
is.
beautiful.
It is
and
life.
they're
I was
Oh,
gonna say, I think it's
absolutely.
kind of- yeah.
The cutest
Absolutely.
thing is watching them get their legs to begin with. Like,
Oh, yeah. I've
whenever
seen-
they're getting all
I've seen
steady and
foals.
just
Yeah.
it is so cute.
I guess it's the same as a
have you
foal.
ever had to like help
No,
out?
not gonna do it. No.
Yeah.
No. I've watched YouTube videos on that, and I've heard that like if you try to help them,
Yeah.
like that smell on your arm stays
They'll
for
reject
like a
the,
week.
yeah.
Yeah. I
But they'll
have-
Yeah,
reject
I'm
the calf as well, right? They can do
Yeah,
that.
you're not supposed to touch them or mess with
Yeah.
them or anything like that.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. Yeah.
any other questions on
Well, I'm going to show my redneck side. I went to the fair.
your redneck
and-
side? Oh, okay. I went to the fair. It starts at the fair.
And a calf was stuck,
Uh-huh.
the hooves. And so they had to chain his little hooves and pull and pull and pull.
Yeah, I'm not.
The
doing
mother was
that.
so in distress. So they had to, other the mother
The
was
mother
not
was
gonna
going
make
to,
it.
yeah.
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 But there's my country life.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You watched it from afar.
Yes, but it was intriguing. And then I watch, the little ducks and the chickens hatch out of the egg, but that's about it.
Yeah.
That's really neat
I'm
watching
jealous
too.
of
That's actually pretty cool. So when we first moved here, we went to Sevier County Fair, and it's pretty cool. That's because we went and we were looking. I mean, there are so many different types. You think you're going to go and get chickens? No, there are so many different types of chickens. It's just
Oh.
crazy. And you go to the fair and they're all showing them, and it's like the prize chicken, but there's like, I don't know how many different types they have there. I want to say like 50, maybe it's not quite that many, but there was a lot. So it's actually educational. So
Yeah.
it really is. You can actually learn a lot from going to the fair. So I will,
Yeah, I'll never forget that. It's been years and years, but I was traumatized, but at the same, now I'm like, that was a cool experience.
Yeah.
So my mom has chickens, and they have all different ones, and they all lay different eggs. So some are like little green olive eggs, and some are big brown ones, and some are little blue ones.
Oh, really?
Can you taste the difference in store?
No, you absolutely can't.
You can't.
My wife actually took them to school as it was one of those little. I'm trying to think
Science
how to say
project
it.
kind of?
No, it's not even a science project. It was like an example of where, everything's the same inside. It might be different on the outside. Kind of like
lesson. That's
a
cute.
little lesson for her toddlers.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Sweet.
My mom, gosh, she gets like 20 eggs a day or something. She can't give them away fast enough.
Wow.
So that's what you do. You sell them or give them away.
That's what she does.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to eat that many eggs, but you're asking for high cholesterol.
But is that what she wants chickens is for the eggs?
Yeah.
So how many chickens does she have?
I think she only has 5.
Yeah, we had 4. Then there was 3. And then 2.
She hasn't lost any yet, but I don't think that they're super free range. I think they're pretty much in their little.
Yeah, I mean, ours
or
were
something.
fine as long as we didn't, as long as they weren't out at night. Because we have like 20 acres. Well, like I said, there's a farm next to us, a farm across the road. There's like 20 acres of nothing behind us. And we hear the coyotes at night. So we know they're there. And we have a little wiener dog. And when she hears the coyotes, oh my goodness.
Does she howl with them?
No, she is ferocious.
Yeah.
She goes running out, and oh my goodness, yeah,
my
she
gosh.
is just, yeah.
You need to get a donkey.
Yeah, it's so well, not for the well, maybe for the chickens. We'll get a donkey. My daughter will not be very happy if I tell her we're getting a donkey and not a horse.
I have a little cavapoo, and he's hyper aware of the hawks because the hawks will swoop.
Oh yeah,
And, he'll watch and duck. It's
I had a client who he ended up all his chickens died too, and he said that it was because of hawks.
really?
The chicken hawks coming down and swooping and getting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, although mine were like,
Keep your chickens.
They were beefy chickens.
Do you plan on getting more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I say yes. My husband said no.
So probably yes.
So, it's a democracy in my house, and there's 3 of us that say yes and 1 that says no, so maybe. I'm hopeful that we will get chickens. We'll do it a little different this time. They will be free range, but they will be free ranged within a certain range. So we're going to probably make a very large coop that's got a cover on it. Just a hog wire cover or whatever, but something, chicken wire cover over the top so that nothing can get in and they can't get out. Probably that's what we'll do. We would like to have bunnies. My son would really like to have a bunny or 2. So we're going to have to see about that.
I have 2.
I know.
That you can have.
But you want them? Well, no, I don't want them in the house. They have to be outside bunnies. Outside bunnies.
That's actually, I think, preferred with rabbit breeders. They say keep them outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can buy these cool hutches. And
I know. I just worry about the cold. See, I was worried about the chickens. What do you do with chickens in the middle of winter?
They go in their house.
Did you give them a heater?
They've got a heat lamp, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I had a heat lamp when they were chicks. Mm-hmm. We had them in the garage when they were chicks, and they had a heat lamp. But then when they were out, during the summer, I didn't give them anything inside. Did they need a heat lamp in the summer?
No, gosh.
Okay.
No,
so that's all you had to do was just give them a heat lamp in the winter. That was enough.
You come out there and have grilled chicken.
Yeah, right. So, that's what I'm asking. You see, it's suburbia right here.
yeah.
Suburbia moves to East Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes. So, that's why I'm asking. I mean, because we didn't, but I guess the heat lamp would be sufficient during the winter.
Super, super cold part of winter. Most of the time it doesn't get cold enough where they would need it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think that's going to be it for this one.
Yes.
Any other questions or anything?
No.
It's neat listening to different types of lifestyles. Here I am. I can reach out and touch my neighbor, and I don't see this much greenery. But thank you guys for joining us for another episode. We're the East Tennessee group of United Real Estate. We're close to everything but miles from ordinary.